Animals are often described as simple, instinct-driven creatures, but that idea is wrong. In reality, intelligence didn't evolve only in humans. It evolved wherever survival demanded it. Across the animal kingdom, there are creatures that solve problems, remember faces, use tools, plan for the future, communicate in complex ways, and even understand themselves. Today, we're exploring animals that are far smarter than we think, not in human ways, but in ways perfectly adapted to their world. When people think of intelligence, they often think of big brains. But intelligence isn't about size alone. It's about efficiency, flexibility, and problem solving. And one of the most intelligent animals on Earth doesn't even have a backbone: the octopus. Octopuses have around 500 million neurons. That's about the same as a dog. But here's what makes them extraordinary. More than half of those neurons aren't in the brain, they're in the arms. Each arm can think, decide, and react independently. An octopus can open jars, escape sealed tanks, solve mazes, and remember solutions for weeks. Some have been observed unscrewing lids, stacking objects, and even turning off lights to escape enclosures. In the wild, octopuses use coconut shells and rocks as tools, carrying them for later use as shelters. Tool use was once thought to be uniquely human. Octopuses shattered that belief. What's even more remarkable is their personality. Some octopuses are curious, others are shy, some are aggressive, some playful. They recognize individual humans, and they remember who treated them well and who didn't. That's not instinct, that's intelligence. Another animal often underestimated is the crow. Crows belong to the corvid family, which includes ravens and magpies. These birds have problem-solving abilities comparable to great apes. In experiments, crows have been shown to bend wires into hooks to retrieve food. They can solve multi-step puzzles where one solution leads to another and another until the reward is reached. They understand cause and effect. Crows can recognize human faces and remember them for years. They can hold grudges, and they can warn other crows about specific dangerous humans. In some cities, crows have learned to drop nuts onto roads so cars crack them open. Then they wait for traffic lights to stop before retrieving the food. That's not random behavior. That's planning. Even more impressive, crows can delay gratification. They can wait for a better reward instead of taking an immediate, smaller one. That ability was once thought to require advanced cognition. Crows prove otherwise. Dolphins are often described as intelligent, but their abilities go far beyond tricks and training. Dolphins have one of the highest brain-to-body ratios in the animal kingdom. They understand symbols. They can follow complex instructions. They can learn artificial languages made by humans. But perhaps the most striking evidence of dolphin intelligence is self-awareness. Dolphins can recognize themselves in mirrors. This ability is extremely rare and is considered a sign of advanced cognition. They also have names. Dolphins use unique signature whistles that function like individual identifiers. When dolphins are separated, they call each other by these whistles. They remember them for decades. Dolphins also teach. Older dolphins show younger ones how to hunt, how to use sponges to protect their snouts, and how to cooperate. Culture exists in dolphins, and culture requires intelligence. Elephants are another species whose intelligence is often misunderstood. They have the largest brains of any land animal. But what truly sets elephants apart is emotional intelligence. Elephants grieve. When a member of their herd dies, they visit the body, touch the bones, and stand silently. They recognize themselves in mirrors. They remember locations of water sources for decades. They recognize dozens of individuals and never forget them. Elephants cooperate, solve problems, and show empathy. They help injured herd members. They comfort distressed individuals. Their memory isn't a myth. It's a survival tool refined over millions of years. Now let's talk about an animal with a brain smaller than a grain of rice: the ant. Ants operate as a collective intelligence. Individually, an ant is simple. Together, they become extraordinary. Ant colonies can solve complex problems without central control. They build cities, they farm fungi, they herd aphids, they wage wars, they assign roles dynamically. Ants can find the shortest path to food using pheromone trails. They adapt when obstacles appear. They reroute instantly. This decentralized intelligence has inspired computer algorithms, traffic systems, and artificial intelligence. No single ant understands the whole system, yet the system works flawlessly. That's intelligence at a different scale. Dogs are often praised for loyalty, but their intelligence is deeper than obedience. Dogs evolved alongside humans for tens of thousands of years. They became experts at reading us. Dogs can interpret human facial expressions, tone of voice, and gestures better than any other animal. They understand pointing, which even chimpanzees struggle with. Dogs can learn hundreds of words. Some can understand basic grammar. They anticipate human behavior. They know when you're sad. They know when routines change. They know when something is wrong. That's social intelligence, and it's one of the most powerful forms of intelligence there is. Pigs are among the most intelligent animals on Earth, yet they are rarely recognized for it. Pigs can solve puzzles faster than dogs. They can play video games using joysticks. They understand mirrors and use reflections to find hidden food. They have excellent memory and can remember locations for long periods. Pigs form social hierarchies, recognize individuals, and learn from observation. They're curious, playful, and emotionally complex. Intelligence doesn't always look like language or tools. Sometimes it looks like adaptability. Parrots demonstrate another form of intelligence: communication. Some parrots don't just mimic sounds, they understand them. Studies have shown parrots that can identify colors, shapes, numbers, and even concepts like same and different. They can ask questions. They can make requests. They can invent new words. Parrots live long lives and form deep social bonds. Their intelligence evolved for navigating complex social environments. Now consider the spider. Spiders have tiny brains, yet they are master engineers. Some species build webs with mathematical precision, adjusting tension, spacing, and structure based on environment. Jumping spiders plan routes, assess distances, and choose strategies before attacking prey. They can detour around obstacles and remember paths. This is planning, in a brain smaller than a poppy seed. Even fish display intelligence. Cleaner fish can recognize themselves in mirrors. They remember clients. They cooperate and cheat strategically. Fish learn by observation. They navigate environments. They remember danger zones. Intelligence isn't rare, it's everywhere. So why do we underestimate animal intelligence? Because we measure intelligence using human standards, language, math, technology. But intelligence is about solving problems in your environment. By that definition, animals are incredibly intelligent. They just solve different problems than we do. Human intelligence allowed us to build cities, machines, and space stations. Animal intelligence allowed them to survive floods, predators, climate shifts, and mass extinctions. Different paths, same purpose. Understanding animal intelligence doesn't make humans less special. It makes life more impressive. Because intelligence isn't owned by one species. It's a property of life itself. If you enjoyed discovering how intelligent animals truly are, subscribe to Neurofacts TV, because the world is far more intelligent than it looks. And sometimes the smartest minds aren't human at all.